Alright, what's up everybody? Nick back with you here from Project Central, and today we're going over my top 10 things I learned from being on YouTube for 1 year. So, maybe you're thinking about starting a channel, maybe you've had a channel for a while and look for some inspiration, maybe you're just curious, but we're going to go over my top 10 things that I learned over the past 12 months on YouTube. So I started my YouTube channel, I launched my first set of videos April of 2024, beginning of the month, right? I launched 5 videos at a time because I read somewhere that was a good idea. It seemed to help a little bit, I think. But first off, we're going to count these down, so make sure you stay to the very end because we're going to go over how much I made and all my channel numbers and stuff like that. So let's stay to the end. All right, so number 10, where are we going to start with number 10? Number 10 is that content creation is a lot of work, but it's also super rewarding. Before you even get started filming, you need to have a good idea. You need to work that idea on paper or notes. I use the Milanote app. It's pretty handy. It does a lot of cool stuff. You got to refine your idea. You got to plan your shoot, plan your project. Then you actually get to, start ordering stuff for your project if you need to order parts or materials. And then you get to do the project, film it, edit it, and then publish it. It sounds like a lot because it is, but don't be overwhelmed. You'll get into a flow, and that's really what I learned this year, is that a well planned out project can really be a lot of fun to execute. From the time you think, oh, I want to do XYZ project, you order the parts, you plan it, you film it, you edit it, you put a video out there that's coherent. That is a lot of fun. For me, at least. The project is fun. The thinking through the filming and the editing and the publishing, that's fun for me too. And very rewarding. So if you're considering starting a channel, just know that it is a lot of work and it does take 2 to 3 times longer than just doing the project on most of the time. Like me, I'm not the best editor. I'm really slow. But it's really rewarding. So you should consider that. Okay, next up at number 9. In the first section, number 10, we talked about like how it could be rewarding. But number 9 is going to be prepping a video and thinking through it and planning it makes you do better projects. You'll be blown away at how much better your projects are. I was notorious for years starting projects and never finishing them. Starting a YouTube channel has helped me significantly in the fact that I know that I have to get to a certain point for the video to be done, right? So you can't just stop halfway through because you lose interest. Having a YouTube channel and filming and putting out videos really helps you start projects, think through them, and make sure you're gonna get them done. The preparation is key. One of my favorite sayings is, we overestimate what we can do in a day, but we underestimate what we can get done in a year. And this is super true. This is super true of having a YouTube channel, because you get eyeballs deep into a project. You think, oh my gosh, this is not hardly doing anything. I'm just spinning my wheels. But then you look up after a year and you've gotten a lot done because you prepared and you got projects accomplished. So that's number 9. And that is one of the big things I learned, and that is one of the most positive things, is that you can actually get quite a bit done if you got a YouTube channel. You'd be absolutely shocked. All right, number 8, we talked about, prepping ideas and stuff. You have to know sometimes your video ideas are not good and they suck, and that's okay. You have to, over the course of a year, you have to figure out what works for your channel. I tried some stuff last year. They did not work. Did not get views. I did not have fun making it. It is not really the type of content I need to be putting out. I like building stuff. I like going and doing stuff. But some of the stuff that didn't work out for me last year, I tried to make some Cybertruck videos. Those didn't really do that great. Some car show videos. I love going to car shows, right? Flock to beaters. But it's hard to make that into engaging content. So If you have any tips for like how to make car shows more engaging, post them down below, because I'm going to go to car shows this year, and I want to film and share that with you guys, but I don't really know how to make it more engaging. Maybe just some simple top 10 list of favorite cars at the car show, short and sweet videos. I don't know, but just know that over the course of a year, I found out which ideas of mine suck and which ones don't suck as bad. I don't know if I had any good ideas. I probably just had some that didn't suck as bad. Number 7. Even if you put a ton of high effort content into your channel, just know that sometimes low effort content, I'm calling it low effort content, can perform really well. My most viewed video by far on this channel is my first Harbor Freight top 10 video I did, and that is the top 10 overlooked tools at Harbor Freight. I got to go to a brand new store the day it opened. We walked around the aisles, and that video did really good. Like, I would love for all my videos to be like that. I think it's at like 40,000 views or something right now, which is a ton for me. And just know that, like, that was just a fun idea I had, because the new store was opening up. So know that, like, talking heads, reacting to other people's content, that's a very viable thing. That if you start a YouTube channel, that's what you could do some of that as well. And I plan to do some more of that. I've actually got one coming up soon where I react to I mentioned Cybertrucks earlier. Jerry Rig Everything. He ripped the back off a Cybertruck and made some claims that I don't think are accurate. So I was going to make a reaction video to that. Obviously, I'm way behind the times and I'm slow, but it's part of being a small creator. You take the good with the bad. But just know that, like, you don't need to do these crazy projects to get views. Sometimes being steady and just doing some low effort is what I'm talking about, talking head or reaction videos, can be fun and get some views. So just think about that. Oh, this one's hard for me. Number 6. You don't have to be the best when starting out. Sometimes it's just you and a phone, and you don't know what to say, you don't really know what to do, your story's not coherent, your shots aren't that great, your editing's not that great, but that's fine. That is totally fine. I could play some horrible videos of me trying to figure out what the heck I'm doing on this channel from a few years ago when I tried to start another channel and kind of wimped out on it. But yeah, just know that you're going to suck in the beginning. Unless you're a TV personality, you've got some extra training, you're not going to be the best. And that's totally fine. We are all on a journey of personal development, so just knowing that not having all the gear at the beginning is fine. I was very fortunate that this year I invested in this camera that you're watching me on right now. It's a Sony ZV-E10. It's a nice 4K entry-level vlogging camera. I bought a drone. I've got a GoPro. I've got a nice, newer Apple phone. So, I was very fortunate that I added a lot of gear to my kit this year. But that's only because, like, I want to get different shots, right? I like, the GoPro's got a lot of good features. The big camera I'm watching now is good. It's got a great microphone on it. The drone you can only do drone shots with the drone. So some of those things that I wanted for my videos, they're not necessary, but I do think that they help level up a video. Yeah, that's not anything you have to have. Look at Adam Savage. Films totally on an iPhone, on the front camera at that, not even the back camera. Cleves McFarlane does almost all of his videos on an iPhone. There's a lot of big creators with millions of followers. They get tens of millions of views just using an iPhone. So there's really no excuse except getting started. Top half of the list. Number 5. Sometimes a project is just for you. Yes, you may get some views, may not get any views, but sometimes you do a project just for your own personal benefit. I did a few of those this year. We did some shop infrastructure. I built a welding table. I built hardware storage. I built my ultimate welding cart. That video did okay, actually. I think it's up to like 5,000 views right now. But some of those videos hardly got any views, and that's okay, because at the end of the day, if you are building something with your own two hands, then it shouldn't matter if it gets views or not. Obviously, unless you're like needing to like make your mortgage payment with your video content career, then that's a different story. But if you're like me, you've got a day job, you're doing this on the side for fun. Just know that some projects are just for you, and you got to be okay with that. Here's an example I like to use on this subject. If you're a travel vlogger and you get to go on your dream vacation, and you come back, put a video together, and nobody watches it, you still got to go on your dream vacation, right? If I get to go do really fun stuff or build really cool stuff that's for me, like, that's fine. Like my truck, for example. I put some toolboxes on the back of it, I don't know, a couple months ago when we bought our land, and no one hardly watched that video, but I've still got toolboxes on the truck. I use them literally every day, and they're super handy, and even if I didn't make a video about them, that's something I still would want to do and still want to reap the benefits of, moving forward. So number 5, sometimes videos are just for you, and that's okay. All right, number 4, I mentioned it a little bit earlier. You overestimate what you can get done in a day, and you underestimate what you can get done in a year, and that is so true. My garage, well, except for the derelict vehicle in the middle of it, looks quite a bit different than it did at the beginning of the year. I moved some stuff around. I built some major infrastructure projects. Added some storage to this outside of the house with a great material storage rack. Moving forward, my garage is more functional now. But over the course of this past year, I've really, felt out what I want my garage to look like. And it's in pretty good shape right now. It's a little messy from doing projects. But over the past course of this year, I would never, ever, ever have guessed I would have gotten to my garage to this state and get projects done. Old Teal XJ. It had been neglected for years, and over this past year doing this channel for content, I needed to work on it. I worked on this Jeep more in the past 6 months than I have probably in the past 5 years. And hopefully next year or this year, 2025, we get it running, because it needs to get out of the garage. So just know that, like, if you keep being steady and steadily working on stuff and steady building stuff, you're going to get a lot more done than you ever dreamed of. Whether you're building a car, you're building projects, you've got some land, whatever you're doing, whatever your channel is about, just know that if you stay with it and stay steady, you're going to look back up after a year and be amazed at how much you got done. All right, top 3. These are my top 3 favorite things I learned in the past year. And number 3 is building a community, right? Getting to see comments from people on the internet who want to chime in, who are interested enough in the topics that we're talking about to chime in and help out and offer advice and guidance has been awesome. Not only have the comments overwhelmingly been positive, so thank you for that, but seeing some of the same people comment over and over and over again is really cool. Like, I feel like we've really started building a cool community here at Project Central where we get to talk about tools and cars and, projects and all that stuff. And I appreciate each and every one of you. And at the time of filming this, I've got 1,636 subs. So we grew quite a bit this year, in my opinion. And hopefully we can continue growing together in the next year. Number 2 is probably why most everybody starts a YouTube channel, and that is to make some money. Over this past year, I was only monetized for about half the year. So the way YouTube monetization works, if you don't know, you have to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours in order to be eligible for their revenue sharing, which is their ad revenue sharing program. And I hit that basically in September. So I started in April, basically hit that beginning of September. So in the course of the year, at 1,636 subs right now, we made $496. Woo! So, yeah, that's not enough to quit my day job, but that was enough to help pay for some consumables in the shop, some new camera gear, some other miscellaneous things that this stuff, everything costs money. Everything costs so much money now. But it is absolutely doable to make some decent side money, you know. Not only did I get projects done that I wanted to get done, but I made a little bit of extra cash on the side. And that is only because I get to build a community, like I mentioned, number 3. And I appreciate every single person that watches my videos. Number 1, what is the most important thing I learned on YouTube this first year? Well, that is running a YouTube channel of any size. You will have some personal development happen, without a doubt. Planning, figuring out what's important to you, figuring out some better time management, balancing your life with work and your spouse and your kids, and wanting to pursue your YouTube channel. It's going to make you figure some stuff out. You will have some personal development. You will want to be more creative. You will want to be more productive. You will want to do all of those things, but you can't let your personal life slip, right? It's not worth it to build a great YouTube channel and let your household fall apart. If you are young and you're not married and you've got a full-time job, go out there and chase this thing, because you will not regret it. It will make you a better person. I feel it will, if you're doing it the right way. If you're just trying to make a bunch of AI slop, don't do that. That's not the answer. I've heard it said that we are in a trust recession, and that people want authentic connections. And that's what I'm trying to provide here, is you guys coming along with me and hanging out in the shop, getting projects done, and doing stuff that, anybody could do out of a 2-car garage. So just know that you can do it. Even if you don't think you can, I know you can. So get out there. One of the best channels I watch, called Think Media, right? Sean Cannell over there. He's just hit record. Just start. And that's what I'm encouraging you all to do. Just start. Hit record. Upload some really bad videos. Really, like some of my first videos were super embarrassing. And I'm sure in the future they'll be even more embarrassing. So the number one thing I learned is that having and running a YouTube channel makes you focus on personal development, if you're doing it the right way. Right, like I said. What is the right way? Well, that's sort of for you to find out. That's not for me to decide. That's not for anyone else to decide. That's kind of for you to decide. 80-20 rule in life. 80% of you won't. And that's fine. And that's totally fine. But to the 20% of you that will, start a channel, who has a channel, I hope this was encouraging to you. Drop your channel name below. I want to see what you guys make. I want to see some cool channels that the algorithm doesn't push to me. Let me know down in the comments what you thought about this. Was this helpful? Do you guys like this stuff? Hopefully, I've got some big ideas for the next year of my channel on YouTube. And, yeah. Let me know in the comments. Let's keep the conversation going. And I appreciate each and every one of you for watching. So, thanks. And do what you always do. Take care of one another. And I'll see you next time when we're doing something here in the garage. Bye.